Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
Byakuya! But if Byakuya didn't do it, then who's the real killer? Who murdered Chihiro? There's one thing we can be sure that we know about the killer. The killer was able to gain access to the real murder scene, which means... the real murder scene, the killer is a guy.
I got it!
Since the crime scene was in the boys' locker room, you would need a boys' handbook to get in. He's the problem child. His problem is he's the only child, I think. Since Leon's handbook is apparently broken, the killer would have had to use their own. In other words, it had to have been a guy. That's still not enough. I need to find some more clues. Okay. So, what was Celeste's account?
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
I don't even remember what Celeste's account was.
Clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
I mean, Celeste did.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over.
I missed.
It's all over.
It's game over,
You want to
man.
know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the
There we go. That's something.
No, that's wrong.
Break!
I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him.
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this.
Makoto. I really like Celeste's voice.
The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
I love how she says his name. Yeah. Makoto, you mean? Yeah, I think that's really cool. That's my original guess. Simp Boy. Why? It could be Simp Boy, actually, yeah. Because if Byakuya was the one who tied Chihiro up, then Hifumi could have done it.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
Hifumi did have the key, but does he have the key now?
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
Well, I better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
Chihiro told me he was in a hurry. But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much.
No.
Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
What a marvelous friendship!
The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
I mean, I don't. I have an uncomfortable thought that I want to not be true.
Seriously? Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of.
We don't know where it was disposed to.
Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I don't see this. Why can't we just see the logs from the time of death in the locker room? I don't know if they keep logs.
You really think we can figure out who did it based on 2 pieces of evidence that we don't have?
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say, but fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket?
The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Celeste, your cadence there is getting off.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from.
Well, it wasn't Oi, because she's a swimmer. Yeah, and also, because Chihiro wasn't training with the girls, they wouldn't have gone with Oi in the first place.
Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
Just use they, please. So Chihiro's track jacket really holds some clue about the killer. Somehow it's really hard to believe. I mean, I'm lost on this. I really don't know now.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise.
Yeah, that much is
So
true.
next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
It was a
What do
blue
you
tracksuit.
mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
What? Why?
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
No, that's wrong.
I took a guess on this. I don't know if anyone else had a blue tracksuit. Exactly. I don't think anyone has a blue
Hold
tracksuit.
on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
Huh? What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said...
I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then I assumed he headed off to exercise.
She never said anything about the jacket's color.
Oh, Mondo, please don't. I was worried it was you. God damn it. I liked Mondo.
So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you? You just...
Hey, Celeste, what color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue.
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Okay. The reason why I'm upset is because I remembered last time I was playing this. Mondo made a promise to Chihiro that he would protect them because Chihiro was worried about being weak and stuff. So, I imagine what happened was Chihiro confided their secret to Mondo. Mondo started training them. And, I don't know, fucking... Mondo killed Chihiro. Which upsets me, because I like Mondo. He was cool.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Because I just... I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died. That's the only possibility.
I do like the scissors coming out. It's very cool.
Cherry? Are you talking about Chihiro?
I guess Jill only thinks in food.
So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
No, that can't be it either.
Oh, accidentally clicked. She stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. Just like that, she was gone.
When Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it, to put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
But why? What made you so suspicious?
I want to know why.
That's a good question.
The way he talked.
There was a certain turning point that tipped me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently. You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick. And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude. Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
You noticed such a tiny detail?
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
I really do not like... I don't like this is the direction it's gone with this.
Mondo, was it really you? Did you really kill Chihiro?
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
I mean, in all fairness, you are a criminal, Mondo.
Yeah, he would never do something like that. This is a false accusation.
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
My time has nearly come.
Ifumi, what?
That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
What?
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you'd found some evidence?
Really? What kind of evidence?
Actually, you know, now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Oh my god, Hifumi!
Jeez, does your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then... Here it is.
What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
You found it on the ground, right? It must belong to Chihiro.
I got it! We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
But they're supposed to be unbreakable handbooks.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
You're right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
Such as?
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
How do the handbooks break? One possible explanation. I mean, by hitting its weak point, but like...
I got it!
We don't know what the weak point
You already
is.
told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
Yeah! You remember that? Sure, maybe I let that slip, but I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and 2 of them broke in quick succession, then...
Then we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
Huh? You're asking me?
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
Kyoko with the speech 1,000 and all of this.
If I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Just tell us already! Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example? Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is... When it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break!
Oh, fuck.
I flippin' knew it!
You knew it? Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna.
The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burnt, huh?
Mondo and Kiyotaka had an entire thing about their, intestinal endurance in the sauna.
It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin. If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Oh, this is a nice little lesson on sauna safety. That makes everything so much better.
Wow, interesting. I learned one new fact today.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
Meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
But how'd they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed. Quite the mystery.
What if they found out by accident?
If Mondo went into the sauna with all his clothes on, if his handbook is broken.
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing it's
That's the fucking smoking gun.
They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why.
Okay, I'm betting what happened is Mondo broke his own handbook when he did that whole test of endurance thing. He switched his handbooks with Leon so he had a working handbook again. So the broken handbook is Mondo's in that mailbox, not Leon's.
And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that? I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
I might know someone who did.
Mondo did.
Whoa, seriously?
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
Kiyotaka has also come to the same conclusion. Who may have brought their handbook into the sauna? Had to be the one who wore all their clothes into the sauna. It was. Oh, look at how upset Kiyotaka is. That's his bro. His bro did something terrible.
Here's my answer. Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What? Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember? And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on.
That towel is still doing absolutely nothing.
But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
I mean, I don't want to believe it either, but I found something that proves it's beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
Ah, I missed it.
Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
That... I'm sure Mondo's handbook broke during that Sana showdown. I can just prove that. That will show that the handbook Mondo has must actually be.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just...
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
Got it. Break!
Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall. Isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's.
I hate this man. I never suspected Mondo about this.
Which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's, yes?
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student.
I guess that's technically true.
It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch. What's wrong, bro? Come on, tell him he's wrong. You are wrong. You have to be wrong. Everything you just said is wrong. You made it all up.
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning? That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
Okay, we have a comic section now, I think. Okay. Now, how do I do this? I guess that one would go there. So then get to the door. So swipe the card. Then what would be another one that I could use? I suppose like this maybe. Like that, maybe? one, maybe? Byakuya came in. No, it wouldn't be this one. That's literally a scene right there. Ay, ay, ay. I always find these sections weird because, like, I don't ever really know what's the right order of things. Come on, brain, work! Work, damn it. Byakuya came in. That. That would go in there. That goes in there. Alright, reenact it like this and see if it works.
You! First, let's take a look back to before the incident. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room.
Well, this is using she right now.
But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room?
Imagine I've used in the wrong order.
Here's exactly what happened. With bag in hand, she made her way to the locker room. But how could the victim?
There we go.
Simple, because she was really a he, which is why he was able to use his own handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him.
I clearly spoke too soon about using pronouns.
It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked him. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from.
But why, Mondo? Why would you do this?
It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet. Then, removing the bloody poster.
What? Like that?
The killer is you!
I will get this right eventually.
Which is why the killer... Then, removing the...
There we go.
And finally carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course.
But there was 2 free ones down in the main hall.
But this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem. And that's exactly how the killer did it. With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch.
Is that an actual term? You just make this up as you go along, Makoto.
That could have been the end of things, but no. Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation, making things even more complicated.
But why did he have to do that, though?
So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library, and then he got to work. He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body. Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime.
Why did he do that? Because it's Byakuya bitch.
He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter. And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade,
Trying to get rid of the serial killer, probably, or at least outing them as a serial killer. I mean, the thing is, if he did make everyone believe it was Genocide Joe, then we'd all be dead. The whole thing is, if we get a trial wrong, everyone dies except for the actual murderer.
the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook. And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic
Forgot about
gadget.
that.
Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna.
Look, man, the whole, like, setting up the crime scene the way it is, that's just Byakuya being extra AF for some reason.
And the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook.
Yeah, I'm with Bubbles on this. I'm also with Bubbles on this.
And that's how it all played out. Isn't that right, Mondo Arata?
But why did you do it, Mondo? Complete.
Wait. No. This can't be right. Where's your evidence? Yeah. Where's your evidence?
But why Mondo?
You need evidence. You need proof. Without any proof, you can't
Hey.
put any of this on him.
My proof? That screaming sheep right there. Evidence that Mondo was the killer. That revealed itself earlier in the trial. I can somehow show where Mondo's handbook is right now. Once I do that, everything will become clear. A new element is added to bullet time battles. I'd like to hear more. Yes, there's a new element every time, it seems. Let's talk a little about fever time and nega time. What? During a bullet time battle, if you press the space key, fever time will activate, and the tempo will be forced to its max. At this point, even if you push the buttons at random, you won't miss. So you can push right mouse button, left mouse button, right button, however you want to destroy the opponent's verbal assault. This only lasts until your focus gauge runs out, to make the best possible use of your time. Of course, it wouldn't be fair if only you got access to special time, right? Both prepared something called nega time that your opponent can use. If the opponent activates nega time during the bullet time battle, your tempo marker will disappear, making it quite a bit tougher to hit the buttons in rhythm. If you were to activate fever time at this point, no, never mind. I'm sure nothing would happen. I don't know what I was worried about. Unsurprisingly, if your active difficulty is set to gentle, the opponent won't use nega time. Well then, good luck and have fun. Hey, man.
Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you.
I like how we're not even here trying to... We're not even trying to, like, convince Mondo. We're trying to convince Kiyotaka that Mondo did it.
I won't listen. False. refuse to vote. Show me some evidence.
You think I care about your negative time, bitch? I was in band.
I refute you. False. Show me some evidence.
All right, never
I
mind.
won't listen. False. You're corrupt. Show me some evidence.
This should prove it.
I almost had that without having to use fever time. Oh well.
If my thinking so far is right, Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's.
No, yeah, the whole tempo thing is a very fun part of the trial, Bubs.
In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we do that, we'll...
We don't gotta do that.
Huh?
Yeah. I did it. I killed him.
Mondo. Hey, straight A student. Fuck yes. I got some coins. I hope Ace isn't missing this. This is gonna be interesting, isn't it, Bubs?
Bro, what are you saying?
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that.
He's so excited.
Wait, hold on.
No waiting, no holding on. Time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Grab your lever and give it a yank. Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Monokuma vote. Why add? Alright, I'll give it a second. I'm gonna let this run for a bit.
What?
I'm so tired of this Peter Davidson ad. Please make it stop. Is that like the new Pete Davidson movie thing that's coming out? Why is I getting an ad for that? I haven't seen that one on Twitch yet. Bubbles is free. Smitty is free. Fuck yeah. Alright, let's get going. Uh-oh, this time it looks like you got it right again. Yes, it is so. The Blackened that killed Chihiro Fujisaki was Mondo Owada!
Unbelievable.
In case you're wondering, the vote was not unanimous. Kiyotaka chose the wrong answer. It was an ad for Taco Bell with the actor. Oh, that one. I haven't seen that one either. You're treading very close to the danger zone, Mr. Ishimaru. You need to be more careful.
I refuse to believe it. There's no way. No way he would kill someone.
Sorry.
What is this?
Why are you apologizing? Why? 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 Why did you do it?
Now then.
Well, it looks like Mondo's taken a vow of silence. So, allow me to explain on his behalf.
Actually...
The story of the murder this time is a sad story of two men. Oh, but for anyone who doesn't want to really hear it, you have the control key to fast forward the text. Anyway, there was once a young boy, and his name was Chihiro Fujisaki. Yeah, I'm gonna use they instead of he for this because I'm not sure how this all works. They had an extreme inferiority complex regarding their own lack of strength. You're so weak, even though you're a boy. Okay, I can't really do much for that one. They'd heard things like that as long as they could remember, and they couldn't overcome their weakness.
On the contrary, they tried to hide and buried themselves further and further into that weakness, to take on the fragile form of a petite young girl. They had chosen that as their way out. Thank you, Keeper. Look, if the game's not gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. Now, nobody will be able to say anything about even though you're a boy. But no matter how tightly they wrapped themselves up in that shell, the inferiority complex had already taken root deep inside of them and was not so easily weeded out. As it turned out, the shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear. Instead, it only grew stronger and stronger. I'm weak.
Weak, 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 weak.
Once the killing game had begun here at the school, they had no choice but to accept this fact. After all, this world is survival of the fittest. If you're not strong, you don't survive. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets, which, of course, include Chihiro's embarrassing secret, which I was more than willing to divulge. Even though they dress like a girl, Chihiro is actually a boy. Again, can't do much of that one. And that was something Chihiro couldn't let anyone find out, no matter the cost. If that was revealed, it would be the end. The hardened shell would crack, the armor would fall away. Without a doubt, those around them would torture them more than ever before. Everyone figured being thrust into such a dilemma must have sent them spiraling into despair.
What?
And yet...
I'm sorry.
I don't really want to talk about it right now.
But...
I also don't want to leave things the way they are. So maybe I can talk about it later. After I try my best to become strong, then I can tell everyone. Annoyingly, they use the threat of discovery to motivate themselves to become stronger.
That's right.
Now's my chance.
I want to change.
I'm going to get stronger and accept who I am. Strong enough so that when someone says, even though you're a boy, I'll be okay. I'll get better. With that thought at the front of their mind, they resolved to take immediate action. And so... that day, they made the commitment to begin exercising. They were prepared to retrain their mind and body. But sadly, that would be the first and only chance they would get at it.
Hey,
When they decided to start exercising, they thought it would be good to ask for someone's help. But they wanted to tell that person their secret first, and then ask them to help them from there. And the person they went to...
Yeah, that's right.
It was me.
Yep, it sure was! The biker gang fella had been painfully clear about how important his manly promises were. So, Chihiro probably figured that even if they confided in Mondo, his honor would make him keep the secret.
I think he regrets. I think he's regretting.
Plus, Mr. Macho Mondo was a very symbol of a strong man that Chihiro had always aspired to. Maybe talking to Mondo about it will help give me some courage. So, what?
Okay, this is what Monokuma is saying. But it says Chihiro saying this.
So, they went and asked Mondo to help them become strong. That was their aspiration. And they thought that only with Mondo's support would they ever be able to come close to that.
Correct.
So then, that must be why Mondo did what he did, to keep the promise he made to Chihiro.
Huh? Did what he did? You mean that's why Mondo carried Chihiro from the boys' locker room into the girls' locker room?
Indeed.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Wasn't that to cover up what he'd done?
Certainly.
That could have been part of it, but I don't think it was the main reason. The real purpose was to keep the promise between men he'd made to Chihiro.
But...
How does moving the body keep his secret?
Because...
If everyone knew they'd been killed in the boys' locker room, then everyone would have been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Once that started up, at least a few of us would have immediately begun to suspect their identity. So, he tried to protect Chihiro's secret by putting them in the girls' locker room and stealing their handbook. See? Then, Mondo did all that to keep the promise he'd made to Chihiro, who he'd also killed.
Why would he do that? The more I hear you talk, the more I don't understand. I mean, you guys trusted each other, right? So why? Why did you... Because, no matter what, I didn't want anyone to know.
I knew it.
So that's what triggered it after all. The possibility of having your embarrassing memories and secrets exposed.
What is this?
That's impossible. Nothing could have been that bad. Something you didn't want anyone to know, even if it meant killing someone.
You're wrong.
It's impossible.
Don't make me repeat myself.
How many times must I repeat myself? To judge others by your own standard is the height of folly. Even if you can't comprehend it, he obviously can. That's all there is to it.
Well, while we're on the subject, why don't I tell you? That embarrassing memory, that secret he didn't want anyone to know.
Hey!
You know what Mondo did? He killed his own brother. Mondo, the ultimate biker gang leader, makes all the hoodlums and riffraff across the country tremble. But the only reason he had the chance to join a gang in the first place was because of a certain someone. Mondo's older brother's name was Daya Owada. Mondo had nothing but respect for him. It's because of Daya that Mondo ever got on a motorcycle. Mondo's brother was his only family growing up. He was the only one Mondo could trust or respect. He wanted to measure up to his big brother, so he imitated him in everything he did. Mondo was the epitome of the starry-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile, the charismatic older brother had put together a local motorcycle gang. And before anyone knew it, it had grown into the biggest biker gang in the country. Daya, the older brother, #1 in the gang, and his #2, his younger brother, Mondo. In the beginning, everything was peaches and gravy. But when Mondo started to think about how he would have to take over the gang from his brother someday, his brother's greatness, his reputation, began to gnaw on Mondo's very soul.
The kid's gonna take over for Daya, huh? Daya created this gang with his bare hands. Mondo's just along for the ride. Something like that really be our leader? All that'll do is make the gang look bad. Almost every
day, Mondo heard the gossip and whispers of the other members of the gang. Which is why...
I
gotta get stronger. Stronger than Daya.
Once, just one time. No matter what, I gotta win.
Don't fuck with me.
I don't care what it takes. I
don't care what it takes. I gotta come out on top.
And on that night of his amazing brother's retirement ceremony, Mondo challenged him to a street race. But during the race, tragedy struck.
Truck-kun, no!
The kid brother pushed ahead with reckless abandon, eager for victory, and dashed into oncoming traffic.
Cool motive, still murder.
But suddenly...
Oh. Truck-kun!
Laying in his kid brother's arms, the older brother delivered his final words.
My bad, kid. I fucked up. Sorry.
Of course, he knew it was his brother's fault, but Dai never blamed him for what happened.
Hey, kid. The rest is up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the gang together. 'Cause it's the team, you and me, put together. It's a promise between men. So his brother's probably living up in Isekai land while all this is going on. His brother got isekai'd. Oh no.
He decided to hide the truth of what happened from everyone else in the gang, in order to keep the gang together and keep the promise to his brother. He could never admit to anyone that it was his own weakness that had caused the accident. And as a result, the team was made even stronger under the banner of the kid who'd bested his big brother.
Hi, Oreo. I think Oreo's been hearing me shouting in my room, and he finally came down. No one else in the house right now, so I don't mind having my door open. Where are you going, boy? You gone out again already? Oreo. Alright, there you go. I think he's in the body of a wizard or the body of a 12-year-old. A 12-year-old wizard. It could be it could be both. You never can be sure.
Dai was gonna lose to his kid brother, so he got stupid and got himself killed. That became the explanation for what happened. Mondo's lie became the truth. He wanted to leave the team so bad. He was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother.
I'm strong. 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 Strong.
And yet, as soon as our killing game began, he realized. No matter how tough he pretended to be, he was just another weakling that could die in an instant. And then the lovely, the hateful Monokuma announced the revelation of the embarrassing secrets. At that point, it was clear I would have no problem shedding light on his secrets. Mondo killed his own older brother.
No matter what, I couldn't let the other gang members find out. If that happened, everything would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother had worked to create would have been destroyed. His death, all the guilt I've been carrying around, it all would have been for nothing. So that's why Mondo. After I saw what Monokuma had on me, my head filled up with a kind of fuzzy uneasiness and just started swirling around. I never felt anything like it before. I didn't know what to do about it. I wasn't sure what to think or say. After a while, that fuzzy uneasiness turned itself to a rock-hard lump of anxiety way down in my stomach. It's right around then, Chihiro asked me to start working out with them. And right there, they told me a secret. Seriously? Jesus.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry I lied to you.
But why? Why now? Why are you telling me this all of a sudden?
Huh?
Because, I mean, you kept that secret all this time, right? If anyone found out, you would...
But...
You're right, but...
I want to change.
I wrap myself in lies. I'm weak. I want to destroy that version of me forever.
They cry you a sweater of tears and you kill him. I can't do much about it, Bubs. Their words were like a knife in my gut. I felt like they were exposing the lie I'd been living myself. I have to change. I don't want to be weak anymore. You're so strong. It can't hurt you, right? Whatever secret Monokuma might tell us. Oh, no.
You piece of...
So what? You're saying I should just say it?
What?
You're saying if I really am, I'd just be able to tell everyone my secret.
Huh?
I was jealous. I was jealous of Chihiro's strength. They had the strength to face their own weakness, to try and overcome it. It's the kind of strength I've never had. So I was jealous of them. And that jealousy broke me.
What?
Are you making fun of me? I'm strong. Are you fucking with me right now?
No.
I'm not making fun of you. You really are strong, Mondo.
I felt like I could hear something starting to creak. Something inside my head. What did they want me to do? What was I supposed to do? It's so dumb. I was supposed to sit back, let my secret get revealed, and ruin everything.
What's wrong?
This is a very dumb reason to kill, but I guess in Mondo's mind, he has his own weird logic to it.
Damn you!
Why'd you have to tell me all that? Are you trying to rub my failure in my face?
I just wanted to...
I just really admire you. I admire your strength.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. I am strong. Strong. I'm strong. Strong, 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 strong. Stronger than you.
You son of a bitch.
And stronger than Daya. I don't remember anything after that. When I woke up again, they were laying at my feet, covered in blood. I had the dumbbell in my hand, and I was just staring at them, down on the ground. Hey! I
killed him.
I killed them.
I killed Chihiro. Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Mondo. He was normally so aggressive, so angry. He hid that weak side away from everyone. That was his secret. A weakness like that lived in a heart like his, and it turned him cold-blooded. Your voices are really good. Thank you, Ave. The mic makes them much more effective now. And, yeah, if you're wondering what's on the go with pronouns and what I'm switching, there's some stuff with Chihiro. Chihiro, unfortunately, died when it was brought to the story and to the group, so I have no way of actually knowing what was on the go in their head. So I don't care what pronouns are written. I'm using they for Chihiro because the game doesn't tell me. So I'm hoping to make it a little bit less uncomfortable for me reading it. God damn it.
Oh, look at him! You see? You're all just like him!
The fandom argues about it constantly. So, okay. Gotta love games from 2010.
For a secret from the past, for a memory. For that, he killed another living human in cold blood. He couldn't cut free of his regrets from the outside world. He doesn't know what true strength is. Do you see hope anywhere in there? 'Cause I sure don't.
You bastard! Just shut up, you son of a bitch! Go ahead! Say that again! I dare you!
Yep.
Okay, I'll say it as many times as I want. It's what I want to say, but unfortunately, I can't do that right now because the time for punishing is fast approaching.
What is their blood type, though? They probably have that written down somewhere. What are you looking at, Oreo? Are you concerned for me? Not usually in my room when I'm doing these voice acting stuff. Be positive. Possibly be positive. Punishing?
It can't be.
You mean execution?
Well now.
Yeah, that's what I promised you, right? The Blackened that disturbs the peace will be punished.
Ridiculous.
Hold on.
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment.
For Mundo Owada, the ultimate biker gang leader.
No, wait!
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
I said wait! There is no waiting here, Kiyotaka.
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
How violent is this gonna be? Game over. Mondo has been found guilty. Time for the punishment. Monokuma with the fucking... The cage of death. Oh. Oh. Jeez. Mondo. He turned him to butter. If only he had his hair towel. Wow. Sad trombone for the win.
Oh, laugh at death and your soul will forever be at peace.
There we go. Sorry if I'm making sounds I think are concerning my dog. You're just looking at me like, what the fuck are you doing? Oh, yeah, Smitty, were you here for the last punishment? The last punishment involved a dude getting beaten to death by baseballs. The punishments in this game are very intense. Hey, Oreo. What are you doing, boy? It can't be. My brother. Another murder and another execution. Was that the one with Leon? Yeah, I was there for that. Yeah, that was Leon who got pelted to death with baseballs. I want to feel again. Everyone's lives are taken so lightly here. I feel like I might be going mad. Maybe I'll just let it happen. Oh. As Taka's sad screams invaded our skulls, we were each forced to realize once again. But he, of course he had to. What a disappointment. This is the end of the game. The fucking sheep! It's coming back! can be negative. It's not going to be negative. Oh. I don't actually know what my blood type is. I wonder what that sheep's blood type is. If the sheep was a manga character, I'm sure we'd know. I don't have any blood. Yeah, you're a bubble. Actually, that's true. I'm a doll. I have cotton. I relate to Monokuma in very strange ways, both being cotton-based and fabric-based. At least I don't have a bomb inside me like Monokuma does. At least some versions of him do. What a disappointment. This is the end of the game. That's important to know, Keeper SMH. It's on my MCP card, which I have on me sometimes, I think. Byakuya?
What is this?
You're completely insane. You know that? Again, one of our friends is dead. Do you realize that?
And slime don't have blood, not as such. Osmosis.
Naturally.
Of course I do. Because this game is life. Ugh. Of course I do. Because this game is life or death.
Hey.
I don't have anything to say to you. I don't have a response. Except that
However,
I just don't understand why. Why did you go out of your way to disguise Mondo's crime?
What?
Why? Isn't it obvious? Because it made things more interesting.
You Byaku bitch!
His voice was calm, emotionless, like the voice of death. It chilled me to the bone. Last night, when the murder took place, I was in the library as usual.
Honestly.
So, you ignored the nighttime rule, too.
That rule never mattered to me. I don't recall agreeing to it.
There is nothing to be done.
Well, I don't particularly care. Please, continue.
The night grew late, and I decided to return to my room, which is when I stumbled upon him. Oh. I spotted Mondo coming out of the girls' locker room. After he'd gone, I looked inside and saw the corpse. What? You mean you actually witnessed the murder? He was such a fool. He didn't have the slightest idea that I'd seen him.
Well...
So, you're saying you knew who the culprit was from the very beginning?
That's right.
Indeed. If that had been the end of it, how boring would that have been? Major Alex Lewis Armstrong.
Armstrong is the over-the-top muscly one.
Okay, yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. I remembered him being a blonde, because he has a little, like, wisp of hair. But I didn't remember him having glasses, which is why I was confused. I mean, what a waste of time to have the answer revealed right at the beginning. Which is why I decided to lend a little helping hand. I thought it would liven things up. You did all that to liven things up.
I see.
So, after hearing about Genocide Jack from Toko, you decided to use that to create the fake murder scene.
But, damn, man. If we hadn't figured out who'd really done it, you would have been dead too, right? Well, obviously I would have revealed the truth before it reached that point. Of course. Byakuya turned and looked me in the eye. I could feel his sharp eyes piercing into me. Thanks to a certain remarkable someone, it never did. I was able to perform an interesting experiment.
Interesting.
Once I do decide to become Blackened, I now know who I'll have to watch out for. So I'm trying to think of other blonde glasses-wearing anime characters that aren't assholes. There aren't many blonde characters in anime. It's like, no. There's Armin. He doesn't have glasses. I don't know. I can't think of a lot of blonde characters. What?
Correct.
So, that was your reason.
Are you satisfied?
Indeed.
Yes. We're done listening to your story. Moving on.
Hey.
There's something I'd like to ask Monokuma.
What's this?
Ooh, I'm up next.
You...
You like to perform these elaborate executions each time, correct? My question is, why? Do you like them? But you know, this punishment, this despair, is not just for you. All this punishment, all this despair is my gift to mankind itself.
What?
You're over-exaggerating. I am not over-exaggerating. These punishments are to transform all hope to despair.
Damn.
What do you mean?
Huh?
Mean? Mean? Mean.
What the?
Mean.
Damn it!
Good grief! I understand why you have to pick apart every little stupid thing.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. In the end, I'm going to stand alone as the victor. And then everything will be revealed to me.
Ooh.
How exciting!
The noble son of a noble family. Truly you understand me.
I know a few characters that temporarily wear glasses.
I think this is the start of a terrifying friendship.
That's enough.
Shut up. I would never stoop to the level of a childish criminal like you. Let me just say this. After I've achieved complete victory, you're up next. I'm going to find you and kill you, understand?
In the name of my family.
For which victory is a foregone conclusion.
You're getting all riled up.
Ooh, so cool! It's like you're the main character of a video game or something. No trash mob for you.
I swear, whatever it takes, I will kill you.
Temper! Sounds like someone needs a nap.
Monokuma's laughter peeled across the courtroom, and the curtain closed in the case of Chihiro and Mondo. But I knew that wasn't the end. The killing game would still continue, because the mastermind wouldn't let it end. For those of us who were still alive, our worst fear and despair kept on multiplying. It was a kind of despair that felt like a blind puppy in hell had more of a future than us. All of our courage, our effort, our friendship, it felt like it amounted to nothing at all. It was the worst kind of despair. And it's only going to get worse from here.
Well, anyway, like I was saying,
Oh?
this is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good spot. Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring? Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. There won't be any stopping it. Fear and despair charge forward at a speed nothing can hope to match. But I must admit, I'm disappointed. I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group, and you couldn't play your part.
Huh?
You do remember you were supposed to make the first move, right? Well, no biggie. Nothing we can do about it now, so just do your best to make things more exciting from now on, okay?
Excuse me?
After all, that's what everyone wants to see.
There's one thing I'd like to ask you.
As long as you don't want to know my measurements, fire away.
Who is it? The 16th high school student, I mean.
Ooh. My, you really took me by surprise there. I know I said you could ask anything, but... Super denied, ultra denied, demonic denied! Because you see, that's my ace in the hole. And nobody'd be dumb enough to reveal that, right? No matter how close they were to their friends.
This is interesting. Boy's Life of Despair. Complete. Surviving students, 10. To be continued. You received the crazy diamond present. Oh man, we got Mondo's jacket.